Hello folks, I hope you all are well. So I am going to give a quick tutorial here for anyone who wants to help test the faucet on the Mumbai testnet. So the faucet has been coded, it's working, it is now on the Mumbai Polygon test network. So in theory, anyone here can go and use that. But if you're not familiar with testing and how that works, I'm here to give a little tutorial on if you're not that technical or not sure how this all works, but want to get involved, you can actually go and help. So the very first thing you're going to want to do is, make sure you have access to this. You should go check GitHub, and you should see this in the building channel. You should see something here that you'd be able to take a look at, and you can get the code. We're going to need it for a little bit later. So you can also see the contract here. You can already see that we have some contracts going through. It's been deployed. 22 minutes ago, there was a failed transaction, which was intended. So, and if you want to be able to help, here's the very first thing that you're going to want to do. You're going to want to go and add the Polygon Mumbai test network to MetaMask if you're already using it or whatever you're doing, but you're not going to want to use just the normal. So if you Google Polygon Mumbai test network, it's going to give you an RCP endpoint or RPC endpoint that's very likely not going to work. No, instead what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you set up one through Alchemy. Alchemy is a company that just got a large amount of funding. They're a very big company in the space. They have a lot of infrastructure related around blockchain stuff, and they're completely free to use. So what you can do is you can sign up for an Alchemy account. I didn't have to give a credit card. And then, they're going to request one, but you can deny that. And what I ended up doing is connecting to their environment. So I set up a FWEB3 Matic faucet. I've had a ton of transactions, as you can see, but that's mostly because Remix is connected. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to view the key. And you're going to get some address here. So you can't see the whole thing here, but you're going to want to copy this. And that's what you're going to use as your RCP URL. So it's Polygon Mumbai, so that's Alchemy. And then you're going to do testnet 8001 Matic, and you'll be set up. That's the first thing. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get some test Matic. And all you would do is basically go and find your address. Here is mine that I'll do. And this is just a regular Matic faucet. This doesn't work for mainnet, by the way. That's why we're setting this up. You go through, connect, and boom, you have now used the faucet. In a couple of minutes, you should have a little bit of, Matic here. So we're still building out the front end of this. So maybe in a day or two, this wouldn't be necessary. But if you want to get involved now, here's what you're going to have to do. So we need to connect to this address. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to remix.ethereum.org, and I just set up a completely brand new workspace. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create a, let's see, FWEB3 Matic faucet.sol. Going to create that. You're going to go here. You want to go to the raw of this, and you're just going to want to copy this over into this file. Reason we need to do this is because we need to get Solidity to know the ABI of this file, or Remix to know the ABI of this file, which is how the your system knows what to connect to. So you just compile that. It should be 0.8.7, and it works. And you'll have a whole bunch of contracts here. We are interested in the Schuster Ethereum faucet. So now we go over here. Next thing we're going to want to do is we want to go into Injected Web3. Injected Web3 is going to use your MetaMask account, and it's going to connect to this address here. And you can see I got 1.49 Matic, 1.49 Matic, gas limit value, so that's all good. We want to take this contract here, and then we have to tell Remix where the address is located. So we're going to take the contract address, copy it here, paste it in, and then this address should come up. And now you can see, let me move over my head to the other side. There we go. You can now see I got a little, interface here. And to see that it's working, you should be able to click owner, and the owner should pop up. It should automatically populate with an address that ends at 3AF8. So this is the new address. This could change in the future, but the hint that this is working is that it comes back with a hex and not just zeros. You can click get timeout, should return 1. You can even get the balance to see how much Remix is here, which is all fine and good. So now that we have this set up, it's time to test if the address actually works. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take your address here, and the one that should have only Testmatic in it and nothing else, no other tokens. Click faucet. You should get an error That's fine. Send the transaction. Your MetaMask up here should go and say it's got some issues. Go and click. And that should come back as a failure. So the reason it failed is because I have no ERC20 test tokens here, which in the real network would be FWEB3. So that is expected. So we're going to move over to my account 3. You can see they match up. So it's, you know, the address is the same. And you can see it ends there. And assets, and if you take a look, I do actually have some of the test tokens in here, and you need a minimum of 3 to make it work. So we're going to do the same thing. Make sure to go down to your faucet, go out, click this, and send. You should confirm the transaction. You should make sure you're always on testnet when you do this. And if you go here, it seems that the transaction was mined. It was sent to the network, thanks to that nice alchemy point. And that's the thing. If you're on something that's non-alchemy, or you could use Infura or any other organization, but Alchemy is the one I'm using. And if you don't have that node and you're just trying to use a public node, I could not even get the network to work. It was nuts. So you can see here the transaction was sent. You can see the logs here, that there was a sent token to this address, which is indication that it worked and went through. And the best indication is that you can see now, I actually got a little bit more Matic into this. It was actually 0.021 before, now it's 0.02. So that means it's working. So if you want to help out, you can test on your own address, you can test some of these, and you can do other things like try to change the timeout, shouldn't work, try to transfer ownership, etc., and you can do some testing and maybe even test out some weirder things. So anywho, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, happy creation.